okay, let's look at watches. There's no real improvement in performance, right? I mean, they're beautiful, but I mean, the performance difference between now and 10 years ago is not clear. The whole thing is fucking insane. It's insane. Like, I brought my watch. I have a Rolex. This thing's always fast. I said, it's always like, after a couple months, it's like 5 minutes fast. And they go, yep. They go, yeah.
Really?
It's just what it does.
Okay.
I go, hold on. I go, so you're telling me that it just is always going to be fast? It's the whole thing is nuts.
Rolex didn't just craft watches. They crafted a belief system, a legacy, a fantasy. The idea that Swiss-made meant perfection, precision, purity, that every Rolex was built by elite horological monks high up in the Alps, dressed in white lab coats, working in silence while classical music played in the background. Owning a Rolex wasn't just a flex. It was a milestone, a mark of success. But now that fantasy is cracking, and not quietly. Joe Rogan just lit a fire under the luxury watch industry, making one of the boldest accusations it's ever faced. And baby, the fallout? It's everywhere. TikTok, Wall Street, high fashion circles. Rogan claims Rolex isn't what it pretends to be. Behind those velvet boxes and museum-lit showrooms, there's a scandal brewing, one they never wanted the public to see. We're talking mystery. Chinese production lines, fake Swiss origins, and chaque émaille markups so criminal, they make the resale price look like a joke. According to the claims, the hands that built your Rolex may have never even touched Swiss soil. Let that sink in. It all started with a whisper, a casual remark Rogan dropped on his podcast. He said something about the luxury watch game, not feeling authentic anymore. Too many inconsistencies. Too many Swiss-made watches showing up with weird serial numbers and noticeable defects. That whisper turned into a roar once fans started sending him footage, photos, alleged leaks. And then, it got dark. Rogan claims multiple whistleblowers from Chinese factories reached out with proof that Rolex has been quietly outsourcing production for years. And we're not talking minor parts. We're talking dials, bezels, casings, entire watch bodies minus the final engraving. The final Swiss-made stamp, allegedly slapped on post-production, far away from any snowy Swiss village. These aren't just rumors. Rogan says there are shipping logs, invoices, even photos showing Rolex parts being finished on dusty Chinese assembly lines. The illusion of Swiss perfection, exposed, the scandal Rolex never wanted you to know about, unleashed, and the most chilling part? Those factory workers, ignored, underpaid, erased from the narrative, are now ready to talk, ready to burn it all down. Because while you thought you were buying a handcrafted Swiss timepiece, what you may have actually bought, if these allegations are true, is a $300 watch with a $10,000 lie engraved on the back. Rogan didn't stop there. He broke it all down live, said the materials used in a Rolex, like oyster steel, Cerachrome bezels, and sapphire crystal, are available through global suppliers at a fraction of the retail cost. Then came the leak, a damning invoice showing 20,000 Rolex-grade watch faces shipped from Arita Shenzhen plant to Darita third-party facility in Geneva. And another one? An internal memo instructing staff to remove any visible markings before Swiss finalization. It's giving cover-up. It's giving fraud. And now, the crown may never recover. Instructions for disguising shipment origins to avoid regulatory audits. Labor paid cents on the dollar and a markup reportedly over 1,000%. Yet every ad, every press release, every boutique presentation still pushed the same fantasy, handcrafted in Switzerland by expert artisans. Joe Rogan wasn't just suspicious. He was furious. And when he laid all of this out on his podcast, complete with voice memos and alleged insider confessions, Rolex's silence said more than any PR statement ever could. It wasn't scripted, it wasn't polished, it wasn't filtered through brand deals, it was raw. Joe Rogan, sitting across from his guest, giving that signature skeptical glare, laid out what he called the biggest luxury scam in modern history. With printed documents in hand and voice recordings queued up, he went all in, claiming Rolex had built an empire on illusion. He clicked play. A factory manager's distorted voice admitted that components marked for Geneva were boxed and shipped out weekly unaltered and unbranded, meant for Rolex final assembly. "We made the parts. They just added the label," the voice said. Then Rogan dropped the real bomb, screenshots of emails allegedly from Rolex's procurement team, showing pricing, shipping dates, and product codes matching known Rolex components. These weren't vague accusations. These were receipts. Then came the moment that set the internet on fire. Ever wonder why Rolex can't meet demand, but there's a new one in every celebrity post? Rogan asked. Because they're not made in some Swiss cottage. They're churned out in silence, then stamped with a lie. That mic drop was clipped, stitched, and blasted across TikTok. Reddit exploded. Twitter lit up. The luxury watch world imploded. And suddenly, Rolex wasn't untouchable. It was under siege. Celebrities paused their Rolex flaunting posts. Instagram photos got cropped just above the wrist. TikTok suddenly had no wrist candy at all. Kylie Jenner, long praised for her insane Rolex collection, went dead quiet. No new wrist shots, no press mentions. A fan page even noticed she deleted a post showing off her rose gold day date just one day after Rogan's episode. Coincidence? Doubtful. Even Drake, another infamous Rolex lover, allegedly postponed a Rolex feature in an upcoming music video. Sources claimed his legal team was combing through brand contracts. When money's on the line, reputations move. Fast. And then came The Rock, showing up to a gala wearing not Rolex, but a Patek Philippe. Fans lost it. Comments flew. Even The Rock switched up, and it wasn't just A-listers. Micro-influencers, those who built their platforms reviewing watches and flexing luxury, started backing away. One even apologized. "I had no idea. I trusted the myth." Some pulled their Rolex review playlists completely, saying they couldn't in good conscience continue promoting the brand. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Rolex publicists were in a full-blown panic. Frantic calls to celebrity reps, quiet requests for damage control appearances. But the damage was already done. Rogan had flipped the switch, and the lights were, now, fully on. Fashion Week insiders whispered about avoid lists being sent to stylists and consultants, urging them to keep Rolex off red carpets. It wasn't a tabloid scandal. It was a calculated retreat. Stylists were posting anonymously, saying clients demanded Rolex be removed from their looks. Watch appearances were being pulled from magazine spreads. Even Netflix reportedly yanked a close-up Rolex shot from a film scene due to reputational concerns. Then came the Gen Z takedown, not with rage, but with research. TikTok creators launched a brutal campaign comparing authentic Rolexes with alleged Chinese-made counterparts. Archival marketing campaigns were lined up against leaked factory data. One creator started a viral series called Swiss or Seuss, dissecting Rolex designs and matching them to third-party supplier blueprints. The caption? "You paid $10K for a watch made in the same factory that makes kitchen timers." Hashtag, your Rolex reality check. 50 million views and counting. Some creators burned replica watches on camera. Others smashed theirs with hammers while quoting Rogan. A few made full-blown comedy skits pretending to work in Rolex's alleged ghost factory, stamping boxes Swiss-made with fake lab coats and smirks. It was satire, but the message was serious. Gen Z doesn't play when it comes to authenticity, and Rolex's silence? To them, silence equals guilt. Resale sites like Chrono24 and Watchbox began seeing slowed activity. Listings stalled, comments turned sour, sellers started slashing prices. One creator with only 200K followers dropped the final hammer. "This isn't just about a watch. It's about waking up. If they lied about where it's made, what else are they lying about?" That hit deep. Rogan hadn't just exposed Rolex, he cracked open Pandora's watch box. Whispers started surfacing about other luxury watch brands. Scrambling. Quiet audits. Emergency board meetings. Journalists claimed multiple legacy brands were now trying to bury skeletons before they spilled. Rumors hit Reddit. TikTok sleuths began hunting shipping logs and import data. Names like Audemars Piguet, Omega, and even Patek Philippe were suddenly being dragged into the mess. One journalist said a former Rolex supplier was already shopping a tell-all manuscript. Title? The Timekeeper's Lie. If this sounds like A financial scandal? That's because it is, just in a prettier box. When customers spend $15,000 for Swiss excellence and find out the parts were made in a Chinese industrial park, that's not just bad branding, it's betrayal. Rolex has long been the cornerstone of the luxury watch world. If they collapse, the whole structure trembles. Legal teams are circling, NDAs are tightening, influencer deals are vanishing. Because now, the illusion is gone. For over a century, Swiss made was untouchable, a promise of prestige, craftsmanship, legacy. But if even half of Rogan's receipts are real, that phrase is now a punchline. A sticker slapped on mass-produced goods in a well-dressed shell game. And it's not just about Rolex anymore. It's about luxury itself. Because when you strip away the story, what's left? If the roots are fake, the tree can't stand. The psychological fallout is real. Customers feel duped, collectors feel embarrassed, and a generation of buyers who once dreamed of owning a Rolex now say, "I'm good." The illusion has cracked. And the myth is dead. Joe Rogan didn't just drop a podcast. He launched a reckoning. Celebrities are distancing themselves. Stylists are pulling product. Buyers are bailing. And Rolex? Dead silent. No denials, no statements. Just a void. But in a scandal this loud, silence isn't strategy. It's a confession. This was never just about timepieces. It was about trust. And trust, once broken, doesn't tick the same way again.